Hi, everyone. Good evening and greetings to all of you. It's my great pleasure to welcome you to our training this evening, and I want to welcome you from wherever you are receiving us. On our continent here in Africa, the different places, West Africa, East Africa, Southern Africa, and also further abroad, whether you are in the US, in parts of Europe. I want to welcome you very much to our training this evening. My name is Betty Oloo, and I live in Pretoria. My husband and I, Pascal, we've been in the business for a good number of years. I think we are moving on to 2.5 decades in the Neolife business. And so over the years, we have tried to be very good learners, and it is our pleasure to share what we have learned with you every week. And this week is no different. We would like to share some ideas with you about the business, and on my part about our products, which are excellent products that help us to be positive, to make positive differences in people's lives. So wherever you are receiving us today, I would like to invite you to try and benefit from whatever that we are going to be sharing. And I know that we are in the throes of month end, so there may be some strain and stress for us during this period. But I want to wish you all the best and to hope that you are achieving your goals. So as you might have noticed in your invite, my session today is going to be about joint health and movement. And I find that this is a topic that I'm very fond of. Maybe as I'm getting on in years, I'm really appreciating my joints and the flexibility and the ability to move easily. And so I want all of you, whether you are a many years distributor or you are very new, I hope that you are going to find the session beneficial. So I just want to start by saying that as human beings, we evolved to move. In fact, we evolved to move over long periods of the day in order to hunt for our food, to search for roots and fruits, as well as to escape from predators. So our bodies are built to move for long periods of time. Our joints are, of course, what makes movement possible for our skeletons, because our skeletons made of bones are actually too stiff to move if it wasn't for our joints. And so the joints that we have are actually supposed to be able to keep us moving well throughout our lifetime. They're supposed to have a lifetime guarantee. But in order for this guarantee to be fulfilled, we need to take care of our joints. And we are going to mention some of the things in our lifestyle and our diet that can either help or make our capacity to move a bit difficult. So one of the things that we always mention, and I think you will have had this, so this will not be your first time, you'll have heard that sitting has become the new smoking. It is considered that spending long hours sitting is as bad for our health as smoking. I'm not sure that this is true, but I can say for sure that it is actually one of the things that is causing us a lot of illnesses, and definitely it's one of the things that harm our capacity to move and the health of our joints. So, of course, for many of us, sitting has become necessary because as a result of advances in our technology, we are able to do a lot while sitting down. And in fact, from the time we start school as learners, we are encouraged to sit still for long periods of time and pay attention to what is going on in the classroom. If you are a child who maybe had a difficult time sitting still, you often got in trouble with your teacher, and you might find that you're being considered a person suffering from lack of discipline or even from some kind of disorder. So for that reason, we grow up with the attitude that sitting still and doing our work is a good thing. And it is true that we should have the capacity to focus on our work. But it is also important that right from childhood, we are encouraged to incorporate movement in our life. And we should carry this not only through childhood, but even as we grow into adulthood, into our working life, we should be deliberate about including movement in our daily lives. So we have to be deliberate about it, because if we have a sedentary job, it is not possible for us to leave our jobs, but it still remains necessary that we should move, and we should incorporate movement. Some of us might be in a position maybe to join a gym or to have a regular exercise program. Others, this might not be quite feasible. Maybe you are a young parent with a growing family and time is very tight, or you may have a kind of work that requires many hours traveling and so on. But whatever your situation may be, I think once we make it a point of understanding that movement is important, then we can be quite creative in the ways that we include movement. And one of the things we now understand from research is that our back muscles and our thigh muscles and our buttock muscles are some of the largest muscles, and they're supposed to work in a certain way if they're working correctly. And by working well, they prevent us from having problems like back pain and spinal problems. And I think backache and back problems are among the highest illnesses that people are suffering from today. And these are directly linked to spending long periods sitting down, because when we are sitting down, these big muscles on the back of our body are not being used. And because they are not being used, they grow progressively weaker. And as they grow progressively weaker, the front muscles become stronger than the back ones. And this leads to an imbalance that can lead to pains which are common, like lower back pain and pain in our knees. So if you have someone or you yourself are suffering from knee pain, that is one of the points that you can try to find out whether your muscle strength at the front and at the back are actually in balance. If they are not, then there are certain exercises that you can do in order to strengthen those muscles so that they become strong. And once they become equally strong at the front and at the back, you may find that you resolve some of the problems and pains that you've been experiencing. So walking is one of the most excellent movements that we can incorporate in our lifestyle. And we can use it for very many things. We can use it for running our errands. We can use it as recreation. We can use it as exercise. So if we can incorporate more walking in our life, maybe on weekends or after work, or maybe during lunch, then walking can be very, very excellent. Another excellent thing about walking is that we can carry it on for well into our older years, because some of the exercises we can do when we are younger, but as we grow older, it might not be quite feasible. So, for example, maybe as a younger person, you used to jog or you used to do karate or play soccer or some of these things. But as you reach your later years, you may find that either as a result of being very tight for time or as a result of just the wear and tear of the older years, you may find that this is not so feasible. But walking is something that we can actually carry on for a very long time. So it's highly recommended that we incorporate the habit of walking in our lives, because it will pay us well in terms of our joints and bone health. Then what are the benefits to our joints of being active and keeping moving? The first thing is that gentle exercise after meals helps our digestion and helps us to manage our fat storage. So rather than everything that we have eaten being stored mainly as fat, let's say we have had some carbohydrates in our lunch, and then we are eating at our desk and we are not moving, a great deal of that is going to be stored as fat. But if we have our lunch and maybe in a park and we walk around a little bit, it helps us to not store so much of it as in the fat storage within our bodies. So this helps us to maintain a good body weight. And the importance of a good body weight is that we put less of a burden on our joints. And this is especially true of our knee joints and our ankle joints, as well as our hips. If you consider how our skeleton is when we are standing, when I'm standing upright, all of my weight sits on my ankles, my knees, and my hips. And if I have got a high body weight, then these joints are going to actually suffer from that burden of a heavy weight. So anything that we can do to maintain a healthy body weight is going to also benefit our joints, as well as our ability to move and be flexible. Then the other thing is that when we are moving, our blood circulation is speeded up, and this brings to our joints nourishment. It also enhances our flexibility. And by moving our joints, if the joint has got some injuries, the circulation is going to improve the speed at which it heals. If a joint is stiff and not moving, the healing process is also slowed, because the circulation is slowed, and the circulation is what brings to the joint what it needs to remain lubricated and to heal. So for that reason, moving our joints is important for keeping our flexibility, keeping our joints nourished with the materials that come from our diet, and also healing our injuries. And then the third thing is that movement also improves our metabolism, but at the same time, it helps to strengthen our muscles as well as our bones. The more that we use our muscles, the more that our bones have to bear weight and strain, the stronger they become. Maybe you'll have noticed if in the course of your life, you have ever broken either your arm or your leg or something, or you have had, for one reason or another, to have a plaster on your, that is the thick plaster of Paris that they use when you have a bone breakage. When you have that plaster for a while and then you remove it, you notice that the joints, that the muscles become smaller. That is because when the muscle is under the plastic, it is not, the plaster, it is not working. And because it is not working, it becomes weaker and smaller. So that is what happens to our muscles when we are not moving them. They become, when they do not have to move or to bear any strain, they become weaker and smaller. And our bones also become weaker when they do not have to bear weight or to withstand strain. So for that reason, movement is essential, not only for the management of our weight, but also for the strengthening, maintaining strength in our muscles and in our bones. So with those 3 points, I want to move on to how our Neolife products will help in joint health. And of course, we know that everybody should take care of their joints. We don't wait until we have problems to start taking care of our joints. A better plan is to have an ongoing lifestyle as well as supplementation program that takes into account the needs of our joints and our bones. And you'll remember a few weeks ago, we spoke about the importance of nutrition for children. And we saw that the health of their skeleton is an important aspect in their nutrition. So going to the products for joint health and bone health, we start with Neolife Shake or NutriShake, depending on what you have in your market, which provides amino acids that are essential for maintaining and repairing our skeleton, whether it is our muscles or it is our bones. The Neolife Shake will provide us with the full range of amino acids which are used in tissue repair. Then the next one is omega-3 salmon oil, which will be an anti-inflammatory. Well, let's say you have some injury and your joint or your muscles are sore. Omega-3 salmon oil helps in resolving that inflammation. It also helps in keeping the joint mobile because of its ability to counteract inflammation. Omega-3 salmon oil will help when joints are sore or swollen and not moving properly. Then the next one we have is multimineral. And here I can also include CalMag, because multimineral, as you probably know, if you're an older distributor, if you're not an older distributor, just to know that multimineral contains both calcium and magnesium. So you can either get calcium and magnesium, or you can get multimineral, or sorry, just to also inform you that for growing people, younger people, sports people, multimineral is a better choice because it gives a broader range of minerals. It also contains iron and other minerals. But if we are targeting just calcium and magnesium, then we can just have the calcium and magnesium. But nonetheless, whether it is multimineral or CalMag, it will provide the minerals that are required for building strong bones, as well as for building blood, because we know that our blood is a renewed liquid. It's not that we don't have the same blood that we've always had. Each few weeks we overhaul our blood, so our blood is always being renewed, and so the minerals in multimineral are especially useful for that. And so that is one of the third of the products that I wanted to mention that will help in keeping healthy bones as well as a healthy skeleton and joints. Then the next we have is full motion. So full motion provides the raw material for repairing and rebuilding our cartilage. So cartilage is that slippery covering that you find on the heads of bones. If maybe you've checked when you're eating a chicken drumstick, you notice that it comprises of the bone, and then the bone at the head of the bone and the end of the bone is coated with some quite smooth material. That is what I'm referring to as cartilage. So cartilage is important because it plays an important role in keeping the joint mobile, but sometimes as a result of injury or the wear and tear of age, the cartilage might break down and wear out. And one of the questions, in fact, that if I have a moment, I'm going to tackle is about arthritis, which is a condition that results when the cartilage in our joints or at the heads of our bones wears out. So full motion brings the body the raw material it requires for repairing and rebuilding the cartilage, and thereby ensuring that our joint is flexible, because the bones and the liquid within the joint are able to move along each other without friction. So the fourth one, therefore, is full motion. And then the next one I wanted to mention is vitamin B complex. This is a vitamin that has got very many roles to play, but in the case of our joints and the movement health, it facilitates energy production, and it also helps in lifting depression. So it improves our mood, and it also plays an important role in the production of new blood. So vitamin B is quite important for the joints, and it is important for movement, and it is also important for mood enhancement. In fact, it has been found that one of the causes for depression can be the inadequate amounts of vitamin B in the diet. And one of the things that I might also want to draw your attention to is that if you're a vegetarian, you may easily suffer from inadequate amounts of vitamin B in your diet. So if especially people who eat meat will get vitamin B from the meat, but if you're a vegetarian, there might not be enough vitamin B in your diet. And for that reason, I think it is an excellent idea for you to supplement with vitamin B complex in order to get those benefits. And then the last item I wanted to mention is vitamin A plus D, or vitamin D, because now we are in Southern Africa, we have the vitamin D by itself, but in other markets, you may have A plus D together. And also here, if you are listening from Africa, we know that we've got plenty of sunshine, especially if you are around the equator, which means that you may or may not need to supplement vitamin D. If you get enough sun exposure because you are an outdoor person, or you spend time in the sun, then you may not necessarily need to supplement with vitamin D. But for many other places, if you are far from the equator and you are in the temperate lands and you are dark-skinned, then you may find that you are not getting as much sunshine as you need in order to manufacture vitamin D through your skin. And another important thing about the reason that I'm talking about vitamin D is because vitamin D is important for the absorption of calcium. So if we are supplementing with calcium, it's not enough. We need to also have vitamin D so that calcium can be absorbed well into our system and be taken to where it is needed. So those are the products that I would say are essential for our joint and bone health. Of course, there are others always that we can add if the person is not on a tight budget. They can also add things like N, which is always very good to add to any supplement program, and so on. So I think I have a few minutes, so I've got one or two questions that I thought I might talk about. The first one is a question I'm always receiving every so often. People bring it back, and it's about collagen, because I think there has been a lot of hype about collagen products on the internet, in the market, and so on. And people keep on asking, why do we not have collagen supplements in the Neolife range? Why can't we benefit from these excellent supplements that there is such a buzz about? And I always say that it's important to be a bit careful about products that are being pushed and seem to be everywhere and being talked about all the time, because Neolife does not go with what is currently exciting people on the internet. Neolife goes with the Scientific Advisory Board, which researches for us what we need and the best way to obtain it. So you'll find that collagen is actually a supplement that is found in proteins. So it's not like an isolated thing. It's a certain group of amino acids. So if you take in collagen, you take it the way you take meat. When you take a piece of chicken, your body doesn't see it as a piece of chicken. Your body sees it as food, which is broken down into its components. So in the case of a piece of chicken, it's going to be broken down into amino acids and the fats that are in it and the minerals that are in it. And then your body is going to absorb it and take it where it's needed. The same is true about collagen. Collagen is a protein which is going to be broken down into amino acids, and then the amino acids are going to be absorbed and used where the body needs them. So rather than taking collagen in isolation, it's better to make sure that you have got your Neolife protein shakes, which contains all the amino acids that your body needs. And if you take that, then you will get all the benefits that you're looking for, because your body will then have all the amino acid it needs to make the things that we think we are getting from the collagen supplement. So for instance, the places where we have collagen is in our skin as connective tissue, and some parts of our bone, our skeleton also has collagen. And once we have the required proteins from our supplements as well as from our diets, then we do not need to worry about getting collagen by itself. We simply give our body the raw materials, and our body breaks it down and provides in the right place. Your body is not going to just take the collagen and take it to your hair, for example. It is going to see where it needs to take what, and then it will take it there. So of course, if you are not getting enough protein in your diet, definitely you need to attend to that. And then once your body is supplied with the proteins that it needs, it's going to create all the collagen that it needs. So you won't use the collagen as it comes in the tin. Your body is going to break it down and then make its own unique human collagen. Because the collagen that you get in the ones that you buy might be collagen from beef, it might be collagen from chicken, it might be collagen from fish. But since we are not fish and we are not cattle, our body breaks down that collagen and then uses the parts, which are the amino acids, to build our human collagen. So that is my answer for that. And so if someone, a client asks you about collagen, you can comfortably recommend to them Neolife Shake or NutriShake, which has all the amino acids that we require to do everything that our tissues need, whether it is to repair our skin, to repair our bones, to repair our joints, and so on. Then, of course, on your diet side, if you feel like you want to increase your collagen tissue within your body, you can make bone broth. This is a cultural food in many African cultures and even non-African cultures, where we boil bones for soup. And it's one of the foods that are given to mothers who have just had babies, so that they get all the minerals and the proteins that they require. So you can make that a part of your diet if you like. And that way you will get collagen as well, the collagen in the proteins from your bone broth. Point to do with this collagen is that we need vitamin C in order to make collagen. So when you are thinking about your collagen, I think it's better to think about your protein and also to make sure that your diet has enough vitamin C, because we know vitamin C is essential in very many tissue repairs. And that includes the places where we would be adding collagen. Then to also note that if someone is a smoker, you will tend to have a deficiency in vitamin C. And for that reason, it could be the reason why you might be needing to supplement with vitamin C as well as with your Neolife shake, to make sure that you are absorbing what you need and you are using it to make collagen, so that your skin does not. You may have noticed that if you are smoking, it affects your skin because the collagen in your skin breaks down. So vitamin C works hand in hand with the amino acids concerned to build collagen in our bodies, including our skins. Then someone wanted to know about arthritis. And as we know, there are two kinds of arthritis. We have got the osteoarthritis, where there is the wearing of cartilage in our joints or in the heads of our bones. And there is also the rheumatoid arthritis, which is an autoimmune condition. So there are two different conditions, but we can use the same supplements for them, because the supplements is going to help the body in repairing. So for osteoarthritis, we will use full motion to repair to give the body what it needs to repair the cartilage. We'll use omega-3 salmon oil to resolve the inflammation in the arthritic joints, or we can use Provitality if the budget allows, because the Provitality will contain omega-3 salmon oil, and it will also contain the other supplements in it. And in addition to that, we'll recommend Calmag to help in the repairing of the arthritic joints. So arthritis cannot resolve from age, or it can result from injury. Maybe if you hurt yourself when you're younger, and then as your joint is healing, it doesn't heal properly. And so as it moves, it doesn't move in a uniform way. And that means that some parts of the joint will be ground up. And from there, the grinding is what causes the arthritis. So just to make sure that you give the supplements so that it helps to repair the joint. Then rheumatoid arthritis, as we might know from our previous talks about autoimmune conditions, is when the immune system attacks the joint tissue and causes it to swell and be inflamed. So here, once again, we use full motion, we use Provitality, and we use multimineral. And in the markets where you have acidophilus is usually quite helpful in resolving autoimmune conditions, because a lot of autoimmune conditions originate from problems in the gut. So if you have acidophilus, you can use it. If you do not have acidophilus, then we can recommend fiber tablets and some of the traditional fermented foods which bring the friendly bacteria population into our guts. And that plays the same role as acidophilus if we do not have it in our markets. Then, of course, with rheumatoid arthritis, on a personal note, you can identify what triggers the attacks and avoid. It could be foods that trigger the attacks, and avoid those foods. And so I see my time is up. I'm stealing Pascal's time. So I want to thank you very much and invite you to stay with us, because Pascal has got some very lovely pieces of business advice to share with you. And so I hope to see you, to be with you again next Thursday. But in the meanwhile, I hope that the session was beneficial for you. And now here is Pascal, and keep on taking your notes and paying attention. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Betty. Now I know that my joints will be safe for a few more years. Many more years, she says. I like sports, and therefore I take the supplements to make sure that I'm in tip-top shape. So, friends, this evening I want to share with you something that I find very useful in our business, because I am almost sure that most people join this business to make money. Initially, some people join the business to just use the products, but when they discover what the business can do, or what the quality of the products, and they'd like to share with their friends, they move towards building a business. And one of the ways to make sure that your business is really profitable is to make sure you help other people become successful. But how do you do this? You do this by building what is called a structure. For those of you who are new in the business, when you start the business, your goal is to become a manager by doing 250 PV personal, or with your team, you do 500 PV. From there, the next step, you become a senior manager. From senior manager is executive manager, then a director. From when you become a director, your goal then is to build other directors in your group, because this business is a teamwork. You cannot make steps beyond Sapphire. In fact, you cannot be a Sapphire director unless you build another director in your group. There are some people who are very, very good at selling products. They do personal PV of 5, 6, 7, 8,000 PV, sometimes even 11, 12,000 PV. But to be a Sapphire director, you need one other person in your group to be a director. So how do you build your business such that you build directors in your group? What I'd like to talk to you about today is called building structure, specifically building structure for Diamond, because all of us who are in the business, our goal is to become Diamond directors, where our income goes way beyond $10,000 a month. How do you become how do you build structure? Structure is simply means you're building your business so that you can maximize on the compensation plan. Because before you become a director, the company pays you a sales volume bonus. Once you become a director and you start building other directors in your group, the company pays you, apart from the sales volume bonus, the company pays you the leadership development bonus. When you reach president's team, you get another bonus called the network development bonus. So the bonuses increase as your business grows. So how do you maximize the bonuses the company pays you? You maximize this by building the correct structure. Because remember, when you started the business, and you reach 4,000, and if somebody under you is also growing to be a 4,000 PV business, you need to build other legs to help you reach 4,000 without your director. That is what structure is. Now, how do you build structure? You build structure by first and foremost doing the main things. What are the main things? The basics. Using the products, retailing products, building a team. That is, you concentrate on income producing activities, those activities that helps you to grow a team. Then, how do you build structure? You build structure, but the first thing to do to build a structure is to go wide. Going wide simply means that you need to sponsor people directly under you. And you do that by sharing the business, writing a name list of 100 or more, learning how to invite professionally, showing the plan for those interested, following up to close them. Okay? That's how you build width. I would like to share with you also a simple sketch, because I find that sketches are very important in explaining what structure is. Assume this is how your business looks like. I would recommend to you, if you're a distributor, draw your structure on the wall so that you can actually see how your business is growing. In this example, this is you. You've sponsored 7 people, A, B, C, D, E, F, Okay, this is supposed to be G, whatever. So you sponsored 7 people in the business. This is called width. Width is when you sponsor people directly under you. But why do you sponsor people in the business? You sponsor somebody in the business to build a director. That is the reason you sponsor people in the business. You sponsor, for example, if I sponsor A1, my goal is to help A1 become a director. How do I do it? First, once I've started the business, I teach A to do what I did. Name list, learn how to invite, learn how to show the plan, learn how to follow up and close. Okay, that is building with the people I sponsor directly under me. The next thing is you need to help A sponsor others. For example, once you've helped A write a name list, you help them show the plan, they sponsor number 2. Number 2 is now second level deep. Number 2 sponsors 3, number 3 sponsors 4. The goal is to make sure that each leg goes to 12 to 14 deep. This is what creates momentum in your business and volume, because all these people also want to build their businesses. Remember, think of this business as a tree. You are the top of the tree, and this tree needs to develop roots. The deeper your roots, the more stable your business is. So you need to help go up to 12 to 14 deep. And where do you concentrate your efforts? You concentrate your efforts on what we call the taproot. The taproot simply means you pay attention to the newest person in the business, because when the person is excited, that excitement goes up the whole leg. If, say, A1 is not very excited, but suddenly they see number 4, who is 4 levels deep, is very excited and is beginning to build volume, that excitement catches up with A. That is how you build depth. Building depth is what gives a business stability. Building width gives your business potential volume. Building.
But checking the black.
Sorry, okay. Sorry, let me mute our friend here. All right. So, building 2 things, width and depth. Width are the people you sponsor directly under you. Depth are the people you help to sponsor until each leg is 12 to 14 deep. If you keep doing that, eventually you will get 3 to 4 leaders in each leg. That means you're eventually going to get 3 to 4 directors in each leg. And if you do that, that becomes a stable leg. If you have 5, 6, 8 legs like that, where you have 3 to 4 directors, you're a president's team member. Your income is well over $500,000. Your income is way over $5,000 a month. So what is your goal? Your goal is to make sure that the people you sponsor duplicate what you are doing, and then you help go deep. For example, A1 joins, you teach them the basics, they learn the basics, they sponsor 2, you shift your focus from A to 2, from 1 to 2. Once 2 have learned the basics of the business and they sponsor 3, you shift your focus to 3. So each time you're going deeper so that the people in your network learns how to do the basics. And if they do that, you will find that your business grows and volume begins to build up in your business. The other rule I would recommend to you is this: pay attention to only the people who are interested. It is very easy to get distracted by people who, I know it's human nature that when you sponsor somebody, you feel obligated to help them grow, which is the right attitude. But remember that you need to help the people who actually need your help. Okay? So number 2, build depth, go deep in each leg, 12 to 14 deep. Work on the taproot, that is the lowest place in any leg. Teach each person to go wide as a barb and work with the willing. That's very, very important. Working with the willing simply means you work with people who want to work. And those are the people who build large businesses because they know the value of the business. They know what this business can do in their lives. Okay? Number 3, focus on more duplicates. You know, this business is very simple, but sometimes, especially when you get people who have been successful in other businesses, and they join our business, the tendency is to try and transfer the skills of other businesses to this one. It doesn't work. This business is very unique. And when you join this business, you need to unlearn the skills of other business, then you can learn the skills of building this business. Because this business is very, very unique. It's very simple, but at the same time, it's not easy, because sometimes the simplicity of this business, I would say, almost makes us think that you're not doing the business correctly. So focus on what duplicates. Keep sponsoring always, because there are people who are going to outgrow you. Develop the right attitude. Aim at discipline, not motivation. And this leads me to the next thing about developing the right mindset. Before I get to the right mindset, keep your eyes on the future and do not pay attention to what you're going through. I think one of the biggest challenges of people not succeeding is that we set on a success path, we write down our goals, we start speaking to people about our business, we don't see any results, then we make a conclusion that our business doesn't work. You know, our business works, and our business is very predictable. But it takes courage to be able to maintain the goal in your mind so that you become successful. I read a quote some time ago, and it really helped me to look at things in a good manner. Do not look at what you are going through. Look at where you're going to. That means keep your goals and your dreams in the fore of your mind. And that leads me to the next step of having the right mental attitude, having the right mindset. You know, I have all these years, I've read a lot of books on personal development. I think top among those is Think and Grow Rich. What is it that determines your level of success? Your level of success is determined by your paradigm, by the mindset you have, not what you see on the outside. I have come to the conclusion that our success depends directly on our paradigm. Our paradigm is the internal programming that determines our behavior or our habits. How do you determine your paradigm? You determine the paradigm by repetition of certain thoughts and beliefs until they become second to nature. You see, if you're a distributor and you respond to somebody, I'm sure you're going to agree with me that sometimes you get a new distributor, they're very excited, they tell you how they're going to be a director in 2 or 3 months, nothing happens. Sometimes you call them, as they say in East Africa, mteja. You can't find them on the phone. Why is that? Because they confuse their intellectual grasp and their paradigm. Your paradigm that you have is what controls your behavior and is what controls your success. What you do with your conscious mind is different. The conscious mind allows you to learn the knowledge. Your paradigm is when you repeat a certain skill and until they become second to nature, that's where success comes from. And the best way to do this is a number of things. Number one, have a dream chart. Have a dream chart of the pictures that you want, of the goals that you want, and create a mental video until you see those things in your mind's eye. See it very, very clearly. And number two, keep repeating that exercise until your inner mind is able to see the success that you want. So that when you see your environment does not match with your inner mind or vision, you keep repeating it because that is where success will come from. Okay? So you develop the right mindset by constantly focusing on your goal. What is wealth? I think wealth is a thought. Those people who are doctors, or if you've had a family member who has been injured, especially if they've had a head injury, You take them to the hospital, and one of the things they do is EEG. They measure the electrical activity of the brain. Why do they do that? They measure the electrical activity of the brain because the brain emits electrical pulses. The brain cells are actually vibrating. Now, that vibration is something which is within the control of our will. We can actually increase the rate of vibration or reduce it. What is stress? Why do people worry or people get stressed? People worry and get stressed because they create mental pictures of the things they do not want. And that is not a way to succeed. If you want to succeed, you need to create mental pictures of the things that you want and constantly reinforce these mental pictures until your subconscious mind is altered and you get the right paradigm. That's when success comes. Okay? So create mental pictures of the things that you want. Keep on repeating these mental pictures day in, day out. You will find that you will start attracting the right kind of people in the business. And when people say no to the business, you know this is not the right person for the business. When people make promises that they don't fulfill, you know that their old paradigm is what is controlling them. And I am sure everybody wants to become successful. Everybody says they want to succeed in the business. But they join the business, they start, but the old paradigm, the images they have in their mind is always thinking about the fear of what failure. And that is not the way to build the right paradigm, the right mental attitude. You build the right mental attitude by constantly having the image of what you want in the future in your mind. And that is what creates success. So those are the few ideas I wanted to share with you, how to build the right attitude for becoming successful in the business. You know, I'm reading a book at the moment called You Are Born Rich by Bob Proctor. And he explains this idea very, very clearly. And when I look back in our lives, when I look back at how parents raise their children, every instruction a parent gives a child programs their mind, either for good or for bad. So if you want to succeed, go back, pay attention to the things you believe. Are those the beliefs that you actually want for yourself and for your future? If that is not the case, you need to reprogram your mind with a new set of beliefs. And that comes from deliberately deciding that this is what I want my set of beliefs to be. For example, some people will say that I have bad luck. There's nothing like bad luck. You can actually create your own good luck. You might say, I'm not a good speaker. Who told you you're not a good speaker? Good speakers are people who practice until they become good speakers. Okay, so I want to recommend you tonight before you sleep, if you're a distributor, take a pen and paper and write down what you believe to be true. That's okay. First, write down the attitudes or the beliefs that you have at the moment. Secondly, write down of those beliefs that you have, which of them support your path to success. And you need to be brutally honest with yourself. Which of them support your path to success? If you have an attitude, if you have a belief that is not supporting, cross it out and replace it with something positive that will help you. Then you need to, by spaced repetition, you need to, what is the word? You need to speak this new truth until they become part of your mental habit. And if you do that, you will find that the path to your success is much, much quicker. Okay? So ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all very much for your attention and sharing this evening with us. I'm sure now that the month of February has ended, we are starting the month of March. Set new goals, the number of people you want to sponsor, the amount of people you want to move, and then step you want to make. Then concentrate on your goals with the discipline, and you're going to succeed and achieve your goals for the month of March. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I want to hand over to Fred Gichuki to close our meeting. Hi, Fred.
Hi, Pascal. How are you?
Fine, and you?
Thank you so much, Pascal. Thank you so much, Betty. That was a lot of powerful stuff right there. We've learned a lot. I especially like the part of managing our brains, managing our thoughts. And one thing that I must agree is there's always a trap when you focus where you are. And this is something that I struggled with when I was new in the business. Because when you're going through challenges and you focus on challenges, you can't move forward. You always seem to go round and round in the same position. When you talk to somebody and he looks at you, he sees challenges, he won't join your business. So you have to focus where you're going. You have to speak it out. You have to act it. And I must say, in my life in Neolife, I had to talk. I had to talk it. I had to say it. I had to confess it. I had to visualize it, and then it manifested. And everything I've learned, that is the progress, the process that I use. So for the distributors, I want to encourage you. Let's put into practice what Pascal has said, starting with the dream chart, focusing on your goal, speaking it out, having a self-talk. These are gems. I tell you, anything you do in life, if you apply these principles, you'll become radically wealthy. So thank you so much, Pascal, for those thoughts. And for us distributors, let's go out and apply. The best gift you can give Pascal and Betty is to take this knowledge and duplicate it in our team and improve our own results. So thank you so much. God bless you, Pascal and Betty. God bless you, everybody who turned out. See you again next Thursday when we have another training session with Pascal. Thank you and bye.
Bye-bye.